to our first annual IEEE Foundation Annual Report webinar. Karen Galuchie, the Executive Director of the IEEE Foundation. We're so thrilled you made time to visit with us today. I'm here today with two of our esteemed IEEE Foundation board members to dig a bit deeper into the impact you, our donors, made possible in 2019. Last year, thanks to donor support, the IEEE Foundation was able to invest nearly $5 million from over 200 donor-designated funds into IEEE programs that illuminate, educate, engage, and energize human potential. As of today, I'm thrilled to share that the Realize the Full Potential of IEEE campaign has raised over $27 million, meaning we are 93% of the way to our $30 million goal. Together, we are truly bringing the promise of technology and the knowledge to use it to individuals and communities around the world. But without further ado, let's meet the two Foundation board members who are joining us today. Following the age-old adage of ladies first, it's my pleasure to introduce Nita Patel. Nita, please tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Karen. As Karen mentioned, Nita Patel here. I'm the Senior Director of Engineering at L3 Harris Technologies for my official work title, but my volunteer role within the foundation is Director at Large. And within IEEE, I've been a volunteer for over 25 years and served in many different roles, helped to launch the Women in Engineering International Leadership Conference, served in that capacity, Computer Society, Ada Kappa Nu, IEEE USA, and other various committees and different elements of IEEE. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Nita. We're so happy that you're able to be with us today. The other director that's joining us today is Fred Mintzer. Fred, would you take a few moments to share a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Karen. I've been an IEEE Foundation donor for a number of years, and this is my fourth year serving on the Foundation board. I currently serve the Foundation as the Vice President of Programs. Programs helps the Foundation select the IEEE programs that will become Foundation signature programs. These are the programs that receive the most Foundation publicity and development support. Programs also monitors the progress of the Foundation signature programs to ensure that they will continue to inspire donors. And Programs helps the Foundation choose which programs will receive funding from donations that are not donor-directed to a specific program. Although I'm retired now, I spent my professional career at IBM's T.J. Watson Research Center. There, at different times, I worked on signal processor architecture, undertook digital library projects with museums and libraries, and managed a supercomputer center.
Thank you so much, Fred. And as the Vice President of Programs, and Nita is on our Programs Committee, you two are the best panelists we could possibly have to share the impacts of the programs that our donors enable. Thank you for being here. Today, Nita, Fred, and I are going to organize our conversation with you into 4 segments around the pillars of our Realize the Full Potential of IEEE campaign: Illuminate, Educate, Engage, and Energize, or IEEE, if you will. We will save time at the end to answer your questions. Publicly launched in February of 2018, the Realize the Full Potential of IEEE campaign has 3 primary goals. First, to raise awareness of the IEEE initiatives and programs that are addressing pressing global challenges around the world. Second, to forge strong partnerships with corporations, individuals, and nonprofits to advance the work underway. And third, to expand resources to have a greater impact on the challenges we face as a global society. 2019 was truly an amazing year for the campaign, both in terms of donor giving and program impact. So let's talk a little bit about the paradigm-shifting programs our generous donors make possible. Nita, can you tell us a little bit about the Illuminate pillar of the campaign?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Karen. The Illuminate pillar revolves around the use of technology to address global challenges because, as you know, as an engineer, that's what we love to do, to take technology and allow us to address unimaginable questions and to find solutions to unsolved problems. There are several donor-enabled IEEE programs that engage members, volunteers, and students in developing and delivering technical solutions that positively impact lives worldwide. One program is IEEE Site, which consists of volunteer groups solving critical problems in local underserved communities. There's also Epics in IEEE, which is focused around community service engineering projects led by undergraduate IEEE volunteers. There's MOVE Community Outreach, which is an emergency relief program committed to assisting victims of natural disasters. Empower a Billion Lives, a global competition to develop innovative solutions for electricity access. And IEEE Smart Village, which brings together technology in a unique approach to tackle the world's energy problems. These are just a few of the programs under Illuminate.
I know we're really proud of all the strides each of these programs made in 2019, but is there anyone in particular that you as a director are proud of or inspired by?
IEEE Smart Village is the one I selected, and it grew out of the IEEE Global Humanitarian Challenge along with the United Nations collaboration. This initiative just celebrated its 10th year of impacting lives in 2019. It's focused on 3 elements: energy, education, and entrepreneurship. IEEE Smart Village provides seed funding to carefully vetted community entrepreneurs who are looking to alleviate energy poverty in their communities. The entrepreneurs are making personal investments themselves and in their communities and in the solutions they're bringing, which is the unique aspect of this program and a very powerful element. By working locally and connecting globally, Smart Village is making an impact around the world. Over 10 years, the projects have impacted over 177,000 people all throughout the globe. One of the IEEE Smart Village's most successful in-country energy developers is Green Village Electricity in Nigeria. Green Village's CEO defines his life's work as the ability to apply basic engineering and innovative skills towards making an impact in the lives of low-income rural dwellers. I think his goal is to design a platform that would provide them with access to electricity to cater to their basic needs. In 2009, when he was an IEEE student, he won one of the IEEE President Change the World prizes. He then turned this prize into a partnership with Smart Village that led to funding from a wide variety of angel and impact investors and recognition from the London Stock Exchange Group, actually. That's pretty amazing. And they are on target to exceed their goal of connecting 1 million Nigerians to basic electricity. I think IEEE Smart Village embodies the bottom-up volunteering concept coupled with community involvement and investment and increased community education. It's a great example of Illuminate.
Thank you, Nita. That's truly an amazing story, and the fact that the Green Village entrepreneur is indeed an IEEE member. I've had the chance personally to meet him. His name is Ifeanyi. He's doing incredible work, and not only the work he's doing in Nigeria, he's mentoring so many of the other Smart Village energy entrepreneurs. It's just incredible what Smart Village has achieved in just the 10 years that they've been in existence. Thank you for sharing that story. You are also quite familiar with the next pillar, Educate. Can you give us a little bit of an overview?
Sure, certainly. Thanks, Karen, again. Educate is focused on the next generation of innovators and engineers, the future of technology, essentially. And the future of technology depends on the nourishment of brilliant minds, the creation of opportunities, and the cultivation of a generation of socially responsible technology professionals. Essentially, increasing the technical literacy of the next generation is the goal of this pillar. IEEE programs designed to provide educational opportunities for pre-university students, university students, and young professionals are enhanced by donor support in this pillar. Programs include IEEE Power and Energy Society Scholarship Scholarship Plus initiative, which provides financial assistance to promising undergraduates going into the field of electrical engineering. IEEE REACH, which focuses technology and engineering history. This is one that I personally donate to, and the relationship that history and technology can have with society, politics, economics, and culture. Additionally, TryEngineering Summer Institute works to spark enthusiasm in engineering and technology in the next generation of problem solvers and difference makers. This is some of the elements of this pillar, but there are numerous scholarships, travel grants, and other educational activities also supported within Educate.
I think it's fair to say that the programs in the Educate pillar are investments in the greatest minds of our generation, the kinds of minds that are truly going to help ensure that all kinds of problems in the future are mitigated, like the ones we're currently experiencing in the world, unfortunately. But TryEngineering Summer Institute, or TESI as they like to call themselves for short, was successfully launched in 2019. Can you tell us a little bit more about TESI?
Yeah, so TryEngineering Summer Institute definitely positions these young innovators for long-term success in academics, and it inspires them to apply their great talents to technology and to benefit humanity. TryEngineering Summer Institute, TESI, is organized in 2-week sessions each summer on university campus across the United States. It's targeted towards students aged 13 through 17 from around the globe. Last year, donor funds supported 30 need-based high school students who were to be enabled to attend the TryEngineering Summer Institute on a scholarship. These students had the opportunity to engage in hands-on design challenges, to experience behind-the-scenes tours with real-life engineers, to learn about emerging technologies, and to build skills and conceptual knowledge through hands-on work that they could then carry forward. Teens who attended 2019 found it to be a valuable experience that prepared them for a future in engineering. Jonathan from Philadelphia says, I learned things here that I don't think I'd have the chance to learn in school or even in the engineering club I participate. I also learned to communicate better, work in groups, and interact with people I've never met before. Jacqueline, a middle school student from New Jersey, had mentioned, I wanted to learn more about engineering overall to help me decide what areas of technology interest me the most, and TryEngineering was the opportunity to do that. Encouraging and inspiring young adults to pursue technology and to pursue engineering is extremely exciting. Although we are not able to host the summer sessions this year, the team is eagerly working on sessions for 2021.
Thank you, Nita. It sounds like the kids really enjoyed themselves, and I'm sure they're going to miss it this summer. But we look forward to them coming back in 2021. Fred, we're going to turn to you for the next 2 pillars. Can you give us a high-level overview of the Engage pillar?
Thank you, Karen. I am happy to do that. By engage, what we mean is to engage a wider audience in appreciating the value and importance of engineering and technology. The IEEE History Center celebrates technological advancements and their impact on humanity over the past 150 years. Preserving this history enables us to better understand today and to improve tomorrow. The donor-supported projects of the IEEE History Center engage anyone interested in the development of engineering and computer engineering and their role in modern society. In 2019, the History Center celebrated the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, dedicated 14 new IEEE milestones, celebrating a wide array of technologies created all around the world, including the IEEE's 200th milestone, the polymer self-regulating heat tracing cable, a technology that helps prevent pipes from freezing in our colder climates. And the History Center also added 30 new interviews with technology icons to the IEEE's expansive oral history collection, including one with one of the guiding lights of the Global Positioning System, otherwise known as GPS, James J. Spilker, Jr.
Thanks, Fred. Since I've had the privilege of knowing you for so many years, I am familiar with your passion for the history of technology. Was there any specific initiative undertaken from the Engage pillar in 2019 that grabbed your attention and truly inspired you?
Yes. I personally remember watching on television as the first person stepped on the moon. So it was of special interest to me that throughout 2019, IEEE highlighted the technical contributions made by IEEE members to the field of space travel through its program Footsteps, IEEE's commemoration of human space travel. Footsteps culminated on July 20th, marking the 50th anniversary of humans' first landing on the moon. And the History Center hosted a wonderful Footsteps webinar on that research. IEEE also recognized the Mercury spacecraft as an IEEE milestone, and the IEEE History Center also pulled together a special collection of items related to IEEE's role in human space travel, including the collection Human Space Travel, seminal IEEE journal and conference papers, including oral histories and including biographies.
The celebration of the 50th anniversary of the moon landing was indeed a highlight for 2019. I know I learned a lot about the important role IEEE members played in that historic event and truly enjoyed reading the firsthand histories that many IEEE Life members shared on the ETHW. And I was so proud that IEEE recognized Katherine Johnson of Hidden Figures fame with the IEEE President's Award as part of the next pillar, Energized. What can you tell us about that pillar, Fred?
Let me begin by noting that by energize, we mean energize innovation by celebrating technological excellence. Technological innovation pushes the boundaries of thinking, breaks new ground, and improves lives. Donations enable the IEEE Foundation to support and celebrate IEEE-wide awards and to support the important activities of Eta Kappa Nu, the IEEE Honor Society. In 2019, donations enabled 185 technologists to be celebrated for their life-transforming accomplishments through the presentation of IEEE medals, awards, and service recognitions, and enabled 85,000 community service hours to be logged by IEEE Eta Kappa Nu Honor Society members.
Fred, if I'm not wrong, I think you are a member of Eta Kappa Nu, so congratulations for that. And I know you also had the opportunity to be the IEEE Foundation's representative at the 2019 IEEE Honor Ceremony in San Diego. Can you tell us a little bit about that event and the iconic individuals IEEE celebrated?
Yes, the 2019 IEEE Honor Ceremony was a truly memorable event, which celebrated the contributions of technology giants with more than 400 IEEE attendees at the IEEE Honor Ceremony, which celebrated a diverse group of technology leaders with more female honorees than ever before, and which inaugurated the concept of a joint honoree reception with our partner IEEE Awards. Three of the awards that were most special to me were Sir Robin Keith Saxby was awarded the IEEE Founders Medal for achievements in developing a globally successful electronics enterprise with an innovative approach to the licensing of intellectual property. Sir Robin advanced the use of the ARM, or ARM, computer architecture, which features a high computation rate coupled with low power consumption. It's the dominant computing architecture found in cell phones. The Founders Medal, I note, is sponsored by the IEEE Foundation. Kurt Peterson was awarded the IEEE Medal of Honor for his contributions to and the development of innovative technologies in the field of MEMS. MEMS stands for Microelectronic Mechanical Systems. These are mechanical devices made with computer chip technology, and they're easily integrated into computer chips. They include sensors and switches and actuators, which are foundations of the Internet of Things. The Medal of Honor, I note, is also sponsored by the IEEE Foundation. But perhaps most memorable to me is the award you mentioned before. Catherine G. Johnson was awarded the IEEE President's Award for her fundamental computational contributions to the success of America's first and subsequent manned space flights, including Apollo 11. As you noted, Catherine Johnson was one of the heroes of Hidden Figures. It was wonderful to see her accomplishments celebrated by the technical community. Mrs. Johnson was not able to attend in person, but her daughters were glad to substitute for her and to share some stories about her at the honoree reception. Mrs. Johnson passed away earlier this year. It was great that we could celebrate her work while she was still alive. This award, above all, made the 2019 IEEE Honor Ceremony a very special occasion for me.
Thank you both for sharing those insights with our attendees today. It's truly inspiring to hear these stories and really get into how our supporters' generosity drove impact in 2019. And reflecting on 2019, it's clear that it set a strong foundation for the challenges we are facing in 2020. Personally, I am comforted to know that these challenging times, IEEE and its philanthropic arm, the IEEE Foundation, are supported by so many kind, generous, and innovative people who meet crisis with fear, not with fear, but with action. Our work remains vital, and our commitment to supporting programs, donors, and grantees is steadfast. To that end, earlier this year, the IEEE Foundation did establish a COVID response fund, which is supporting IEEE programs that are implemented in response to or negatively impacted due to COVID. We are so grateful to our community of philanthropists who have answered the call to seed our ability to support IEEE in this manner. And to that end, I'm going to turn the hosting duties back over to Lauren Young, our IEEE Foundation Development Specialist, who will convey your questions to Nita, Fred, and me. Over to you, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Karen, and to Fred and Nita, too, for being here with us today. We were lucky to get a lot of really insightful questions from participants at registration. Those of you who saw that at registration and did ask a question, we have some of those here, and I'll start there with some of the questions already asked, but if while you were listening you have a question, feel free to just type that into the chat box over on the right-hand side. It should be for you. If you have any questions about that, just let me know, and then I will hopefully be able to ask some of those questions to our panelists as well. So the first question I wanted to ask our panelists is, how has the pandemic changed any priorities of the foundation? So how has the pandemic changed priorities of the foundation?
Let me take that, Lauren. To help fund the IEEE response to COVID-19, the Foundation established the IEEE Foundation COVID-19 Response Fund. The pandemic is a worldwide problem, and many of our members want us to do what we can to alleviate its impact.
Thank you so much, Fred. Great. And another question that one of our attendees did ask was, what programs have you been able to provide funding for through through the COVID-19 Response Fund? So what programs have we been able to fund through the COVID-19 Response Fund?
Let me take that also. To date, we've just begun funding the Rutgers Unite Run, which had a limited fundraiser this year due to COVID-19, so they could complete their pledge to IEEE Smart Village. But we have received 3 new proposals this week, one from IEEE Site, one from IEEE Spectrum for a COVID news and resource hub, and one from Dataport to host COVID-19 data sets. So the work of our portfolio of COVID-19 projects is just beginning. If you have an appropriate proposal, it's not too late.
Wonderful. Thank you, Fred. All right, so I really like this next question because I think it's important for us. This is a simple one, but it's, can I donate online?
I'll handle that one, Lauren. Yes, absolutely. You can find it very simply. If you go to the IEEEFoundation.org page, click on the big donate button at the top left, You can also visit the IEEE.org/donate page and find it as well. And one thing I want to remind you from personal experience is don't forget to check if your company will match your donation. I recently donated and I got an auto email from the staff saying, hey, let's check your company. And there's a quick and easy way to do that. So definitely go check out IEEEfoundation.org or IEEE.org/donate.
Thank you so much, Nita. And the next question is, do you accept gifts from donor-advised funds? So do you accept gifts from donor-advised funds?
Okay, let me take this one. The donor-advised fund starts to get into a slightly more complicated giving mechanism, but absolutely, like Nita said, absolutely we take those. To be able to do that, and many of our members, many IEEE members are planners, it's just part of the DNA, and they have established a donor-advised fund with an investment firm or a community foundation. And to be able to direct a grant from your fund, you will frequently need the IEEE's Federal Identification Number, sometimes called the Employer Identification Number. It just depends. And you can find that right on the homepage of our website at IEEEfoundation.org.
Great. Thank you so much, Karen. All right. Our next question is, what programs are you most proud of? What programs are you most proud of?
Well, let me go first. So I love them all. And as executive director, I choose to direct my donations to the IEEE Foundation unrestricted to enable our esteemed board to direct the resources to the programs in most need. They all have an impact, and they all make a difference in the world. So I don't have a favorite.
I'll follow that because I will agree to some extent. I think it's hard to have a favorite. I mostly give to the unrestricted fund. There are a couple of funds I specifically give to. I mentioned REACH earlier, Ada Kappa Nu student. But it's not always the money. There's several other funds that have initiatives that I give time to. So the dollars certainly help when you can physically contribute your own personal sweat and hours, but also think about other ways that you can give to these programs.
Not surprisingly, I love them all too, and I'm proud of all. But there are three that I want to mention. Beginning with IEEE Smart Village, which brings not only power but communications, better healthcare, and economic promise to people in developing areas. It's wonderful. And as Karen mentioned, I am a proud Ada Kappa Nu. I appreciate what Ada Kappa Nu does for students, encouraging them to think of themselves as the tech leaders and problem solvers of the next generation. And I'm also very proud of the History Center, which reminds us of what our predecessors have done, and I find that very empowering.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fred. Great. All right. Awesome answers to those ones. The next question we got from some of our attendees would be, how do you decide which local project to support? So how do you decide which local project to support?
So the IEEE Foundation holds more than 200 donor-designated funds. Most of the programs we support are a result of restricted donations received from our very generous donors. Indeed, many donors choose the fund they wish to support. Many others give to us in an unrestricted manner, thereby putting their trust in the IEEE Foundation Board to direct the dollars where they will be of most use. To that end, we have a programs committee, which I chair, that examines the opportunities and recommends action for funding to the IEEE Foundation Board of Directors.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Fred. All right. Our next one is, it says that would like to know which IEEE programs or sections, other than TryEngineering and FIRST, which is not an IEEE program, directly influence students to become engineers. Baltimore and New Jersey sections do Robot Challenge. What other ideas are out there?
Since I spoke about Educate, I'll tackle this one. There's many. I'll just name a few that come to mind that donors support. One is the IEEE Arizona Science Lab, which is a pre-university program operated by the IEEE Phoenix Section Life Member Affinity Group. This group comes together and they put a program together offering STEM workshops for student classes in grades 4 through 8. I think they get about 2,000 to 3,000 students that go through this program each year, and they're educated on different STEM topics. Another one that comes to mind is Science Kits for Public Libraries. This started in IEEE Chicago section thanks to a grant from the IEEE Life Members Committee, and is now expanded across. It provides grants of up to $2,000 to local libraries to add science kits to their circulation so that anybody who happens to be visiting the library has an opportunity to pull those STEM resources. Another one that I'm thinking of is your Guide to the World of Robots. It's an online resource operated by IEEE Spectrum, and it's designed to help kids learn about robots through fun activities. And finally, just circling back to something I had mentioned under the Educate pillar, IEEE offers free online resources to help teachers bring the history of technology alive in the classroom through planned sessions. So those are a few.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, our next question is, how can we best recognize life members? How can we best recognize life members?
Lauren, let me take that. Life members are vital and an important part of the IEEE community. I'm a life member myself, and an example of life member who is retired from gainful employment but still professionally active. The IEEE Life Members Fund of the Foundation, under the guidance of the IEEE Life Members Committee, supports activities of interest to life members, potential engineers, and engineering students. Thanks to donations to the Life Members Fund, the Life Members Committee is able to invest in local life member affinity groups and other programs designed to keep life members actively involved in the IEEE community. The opportunities are only limited by the local section's volunteer ingenuity and the availability of funds. So you can help keep life members engaged by donating to the IEEE Life Members Fund.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's one of the good ways to do it, for sure. All right, the next question is, what is the process to become a member of the IEEE Foundation Board of Directors?
Okay, Lauren, let me take that as well. The IEEE Foundation is a separate legal 501c3 organization established to further initiatives through philanthropy. I bet nobody on the call really wanted to hear that. One of our foundation board committees, Nominating and Corporate Governance, currently chaired by Vince Poor, is responsible for identifying, vetting, and recruiting directors. If you are interested in joining the IEEE Foundation Board, please send an email to foundation-office@IEEE.org with your bio and the reason you want to join the board. The professional team will route that information to the right group.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fred. Okay, so we have a question in our chat box, so from our Q&A section. And I think that Karen Galuchie will be able to answer this one. It says, I think you can also contribute using smile.amazon.com. How does that work? Karen, could you fill that one for us?
I'd be happy to. Smile.amazon.com is Amazon's corporate social responsibility program, and they put the power in the hands of their consumers to decide on the nonprofits they support. So you can visit smile.amazon.com. You can designate your favorite nonprofit, and we, of course, would like you to pick the IEEE Foundation. But you can pick, and you can change them as frequently as you want. And a percentage of your purchases I think it's 0.5%. Sometimes they have ramp-up times. Will direct to your nonprofit of choice. So almost 0.5% of your purchase will get directed to your favorite nonprofit as a result of just shopping on smile.amazon.com. And with so many of us shopping online right now due to social distancing, this is a phenomenal way to support our work, especially if you're not able to provide a charitable gift out of your own resources currently, but yet you have to do shopping. This is a way and purchase things like toilet paper, like everybody has. You can certainly use this as a mechanism to support our work.
Thank you so much, Karen. I knew you would be able to handle that one. And we all use Amazon so much, so you're right. That's definitely a good way to give back. All built in. Okay, so we have another question from our current participants in the chat box. And this one is, I know some IEEE Foundation grants are based on meeting specific goals by the end of the calendar year. How is the global lockdown affecting this? So I'll read it again for you. I know some IEEE Foundation grants are based on meeting specific goals by the end of the calendar year. How are the global lockdowns affecting this?
Fred, would you like to answer that, or would you like me to?
I'll pass that one to you, Karen.
Okay, fantastic. So all of our grantees that received support at the end of 2019 for work being done in 2020, we have been in contact with and we are working with to extend the timeline as needed based on their specific situation. Some of them have been able to proceed on time and on target. Others have requested an extension of time. So we're working hand in hand with them to make sure that they're able to achieve their objectives. And if that means we need to give them a little bit more time, that's what we're doing.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Karen. And we actually had, instead of a question, a comment coming in from Stuart Wecker. And he was talking, I think we're going back to some of the question about directly influencing some students to become engineers. So if you guys don't mind, I'll read what he had to say. Does that sound okay to you guys?
Sure, but before you do that, Lauren, I do want to share that Stu actually is one of the leaders from the Phoenix section that runs the Arizona Science Lab. So he certainly knows what he's talking about. So we should all take a listen.
Okay, thanks for the context, Karen. Okay, so it says, as Karen knows, I'm the director of the Arizona Science Lab. We are responding to the pandemic by exploring alternatives to our class-based workshops. This includes potentially IDW, interactive distance workshops. Using Zoom, we will offer our interactive workshops to small groups of students, either at home or in schools. We are also looking at workshops in classrooms where the presenter is remote to the classroom. We'll flesh out our ideas over the coming months and hopefully have something for this fall to offer Arizona students in grades 4 through 8. Take care and be well. So I thought that was a really helpful answer to go in addition to what Nita had to say.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I feel like we're coming to the end of most of the questions. We have a question here that says, how have donations been to the foundation compared to 2019? How has it been so far in 2020? That was a question that someone wrote in the chat box.
So most recently, we've just done the reconciliation through the end of May, and we are pretty on par. Obviously, some of our funds are up, some of them are down, but that happened in any year. But as I said before, the IEEE community is always so very generous and always so very engaged that we feel confident we'll be able to come through the situation we're currently in. And we are continuing to engage and learn even about what all the different groups are doing to pivot during COVID, like Stu just shared with us. So that was a great story, and I'm thrilled to hear what the Arizona Science Lab is doing to pivot during the social distancing time.
Yeah, I'll just add to Karen that even though the funds are doing on par, you know, the way to expand our programs and our reach and the ability to connect more is always through greater donations, right? So the better we can raise funds, the more we can contribute back to the communities and society through our programs.
so true. Thank you, Nita. Does anybody else want to contribute to that question? Because that's actually the end of our questions for our Q&A. So we can wrap it up unless any of our panelists have any final comments for the group.
I do note, I think we missed one of the questions in the Q&A about, actually it's not a question, it's a little bit of input for everybody, that IEEE USA, another program that we do work with and who has a fund with the IEEE Foundation, as other pre-university activities you can be looking at as resources is discovere.org, which I believe connects to Engineers Week.
Oh,
yeah, they actually have a series called the Global Marathon for Women in Technology and Engineering that they do online, which is a great way to connect all across the world.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. So thank you for noticing that important piece of information that was in the chat as well. And then also, we have some more additional information. Someone else has chimed in. So this is Nancy Austin. Karen, you want to give us a little intro to Nancy?
Certainly. So Nancy is the director of IEEE Eta Kappa Nu, and she has also pointed out the way Eta Kappa Nu has been pivoting to virtual inductions into the Honor Society of IEEE, as well as their recent first annual online graduation ceremony, which featured Henry Samueli. I unfortunately was not available to attend that, but I heard wonderful things. So again, a lot of the programs that are supported with philanthropic support through the IEEE Foundation are finding so many incredibly and innovative ways to pivot during COVID to continue to provide impact and benefit to the students and the various communities who are our beneficiaries. So thank you for all of your support to make that possible.
Yes, thank you so much to everybody who's on the call who's contributed and made all of this possible. It's really, really, really wonderful. Okay, with that, unless any of our panelists have another Hawkeye thing that I missed in the chat, I think we're good. So thank you guys so much, our panelists, for being here today. It really means a lot. I hope that those of you who attended today were able to see a little bit of what we were able to accomplish with the IEEE Foundation in 2019. The IEEE Foundation Annual Report should be available to you as one of the documents in this WebEx. I will also follow up to send that along to everybody who attended in case you want to look more in depth into any of the programs or details of what we discussed today. And with that, if you want to just say goodbye to our panel, you could say goodbye to our attendees, and we'll call it a day.
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. I wish to extend my thanks. And if, as you're thinking about things and a question comes to you, drop us a line at donate@IEEE.org, and we'll get back to you with an answer.
And I presume many of the people on this webinar today are IEEE Foundation donors. So thank you and keep giving.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to end the recording.